before on division with zeros and a quotient. And you'll notice that there was a mistake in your heading, so go ahead and just fix that and make that word say division. So if you remember what we've learned about long division, we need to divide and then multiply and then subtract and then bring down. So in today's problems, we're going to follow those same set of directions, but we're going to see what happens when we need to put a zero there so we don't get confused. And I'm going to be showing you the long division way, the short division way, and then how we can check our answers to make sure that it's right, okay? So here we go. 6, first we're going to divide. 6 into 3. Does 6 go into 3? No. And so what would we normally do? Well, we would write a 0 there for our place values. Sometimes we've skipped writing that 0, but I'm going to write it in today because I really want to show this point that when we try to divide into 3 and it doesn't work, we make it a 0. Now, in theory, we really would be doing 6 times 0, and we'd write 0. We'd subtract, and then we would bring down the 6. But we don't need to do all of that. We've learned to just do 6 goes into 36 next. Okay, so 6 into 36 goes how many times? Good, 6. 6 times 6 is 36. I subtract down and I get a 0. So now I'm going to bring down my 5. Now I'm going to say 6 goes into 5. Well, 6 does not go into 5 yet. And so just like I did up here when I said, does 6 go into 3? No. I'm going to say no, it doesn't. It goes in 0 times. And then I'm going to do just what I was doing before, where I would multiply 6 times 0. I would put a 0 here, and then I would subtract. Why don't I just show it to you for right now? If I subtracted down, what would I have left? I would just have a 5 left, right? So that means that I have a remainder of 5. All right, if I were to do this problem with short division, I would say 6 goes into 3, 0 times. 6 goes into 36, 6 times. 6 times 6 is 36. 36 minus 36 is 0. And so because it's a 0, I don't need to write it there. And then I would say 6 goes into 5, 0 times. And 6 times that is 0. 5 minus 0 gives me my remainder of 5. I get the same answer, and in this case, I didn't even have to write anything up here since it was a 0. If I did, I could have put in that 0 there and said 6 goes into 0, 5, 0 times. All right, what about if I check my answer now? So the way that I would want to check my answer would be to do 60 times 6, and then at the end I want to add in my remainder. So 0 times 6 is 0. 6 times 6 is 36. And then I would want to add my remainder of 5, and I would get 365. So is that what we started with? Yes. So I know that that was right. If I had an answer of 6 here, because I forgot to add in my 0, I would know that my answer was not correct when I checked it. Let's look at another example together. These are similar numbers, but I switched the 36 to being 63. So does 6 go into 6? Yes, it goes in 1 times. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. I'm going to bring down my 3. Does 6 go into 3 or 0, 3? No, it doesn't. And since I already brought one down, I need to make sure I write a 0 up here. Now I'm going to do 6 times 0, which is 0. I could write a 0 here and do minus 0, or I can not do anything and just know that it's going to stay the same and bring down the next number, which is a 5. Does 6 go into 35? Yes. How many times does it go into 35? 5 times. 6 times 5 is 30. 35 minus 30 is 5. And since I have nothing else to bring down, this is going to be my remainder. All right, let's look at it with short division. So 6 goes into 6 1 times. 6 times 6 is 1. 6 minus 6 is 0. So I'm going to put my little 0 there. Does 6 go into 0, 3? No. Does 6 go into 35? Yes. 6 times 5 is 30. 35 minus 30 is 5, and so there is a remainder of 5. Let's check our answer. So we're going to do 105 times 6. 5 times 6 is 30. 6 times 0 is 0, plus 3 is 3. 6 times 1 is 6. And then I'm going to add that remainder of 5. And so I get 635, which is what I started with. So my answer is correct. Again, the biggest key to this is just remembering before you can bring down again, before I can draw another arrow, I need to make sure that I added in my 0 there. All right, well, that is this entire lesson. If you are confused, please rewatch it so that way you're sure that you are ready for tomorrow's work. And then go ahead and get to work.